Anna.
I love my family a lot, but I recently moved into my own flat near the beach because all my friends live there. Also, it's easy to get to work because my bus stops right outside the flat. The flat's a bit small, but it's got a kitchen, one bedroom and a living room. It's enough for me, and I love the independence. I can do what I want when I want to. I don't mean stay out till late, but just cooking, watching what I like on TV, you know.
Ethan.
OK, well, I now live in a flat with my cousin, and it's all right, but we hate cleaning or tidying up. So I take my washing to my mum's house. She's such a great mum. I moved out, really, because I was having a lot of arguments with my parents. You know, about when I come home, what clothes I wear, and so on. Even about politics. Now, our relationship is much better. We never argue when we meet. I go round there every weekend for lunch, and we have a cool time.
Alex.
The reason I moved out was the noise. I have 3 brothers and sisters, and they are so noisy. It's not their fault. They're kids. But I'm at university and I need to study a lot, so now I share a flat with another friend who is doing the same course as I am. The difference in my work is amazing. I can concentrate more and there's a big improvement in my marks. Good decision.
Grace.
I moved mainly because of work. I'm a restaurant manager and I finish late every night. When I was at home, it was difficult not to wake people up when I got back. I have a very young sister and she doesn't sleep very well. She wakes up very easily. It wasn't fair for her, really. Also, because I have late nights, I like to sleep late in the mornings. I get very tired. And that's hard when my sister is running around getting ready for school. So now I'm in a flat, and it's good for everyone.
Hi, my name's Pete. What's your name?
Hi, I'm Marie.
Have you got any brothers or sisters?
Yes, I've got a brother and a sister.
Do they go to your school?
No, they're older than me. They go to university.
How often do you see them?
My brother comes home at weekends, but my sister Jenny only comes home once a month.
What do you do in the evenings?
I usually go round to my friend's house and we do our homework together.
Do you like computer games?
Not really, but I watch a lot of films on my tablet. What about you?
I spend a lot of free time playing computer games. I love them.
What do you do? Where do you live? What sports do you like? Where does your dad work? How do you travel to school?
This is a family and they are having a meal together. There's a mum and dad and 2 young children. And I can also see an older woman and another man. Perhaps they are the grandmother and an uncle? I imagine they're at home, probably the mum and dad's home, because it looks like a modern kitchen dining room. I think they're having dinner, or maybe lunch, because there's some bread on the table. I think they're enjoying their meal, because they're smiling and laughing about something. I imagine they're also happy because they're spending some time together as a family. I love crime fiction, in books and on television. I enjoy working out puzzles, and I love finding out who committed the crime, how and why. My favourite at the moment is the Inspector Rebus series. I've read all of them. The writer is Ian Rankin, a Scottish author. The stories are great. They all take place in Edinburgh, and I found out a lot about the city while I was reading the series. It sounded lovely, and I decided to visit the place. When you read these books, you find out a lot about the popular parts of Edinburgh, but also about the parts the tourists don't see too. When I was walking around the city, I was thinking about all the different places Rankin described in the Rebus books. Inspector John Rebus is not a traditional detective. He has a lot of bad habits, and he doesn't care about his appearance. He's definitely not vain like some other detectives, but he's very clever. He looks into all sorts of crimes, and he comes across some interesting people while he's looking for robbers and thieves. One of these is the boss of a big criminal gang called Ger Rafferty. Although they're very different, Rebus and Rafferty get to know each other very well. They even help to solve some crimes together. Rafferty turns up in lots of the books. I think he and Rebus are opposite types of people, but they understand each other. A few years ago, Rebus retired from the police because he was too old. Everyone was worried that the books would stop. Luckily, Ian Rankin is continuing to write books with Rebus. I hope he's going to solve more crimes for a long time yet.
Hi! Did you enjoy the party at Hirocco's last night?
Yeah, it was really good. It's a shame you couldn't go.
I know. I felt awful, but I was feeling ill all day yesterday. I spent the evening in bed.
Oh, you poor thing. I hope you're better now.
Yes, thanks. Did Hirocco like my present?
Oh no,
What?
I forgot to give it to her. I'm so sorry.
Oh, it doesn't matter. I'm seeing her later today. I'll give it to her then. You told her I was ill, didn't you?
I forgot that too. There were a lot of people and she was very busy. Oh, I feel terrible.
So she thinks I just didn't turn up. That's the last time I ask you to give a message to someone for me.
I'm really, really sorry. Let me talk to her now.
Next time, please remember what I ask you.
Of course I will. I'll make it up to you. I'll buy you a burger.
I felt awful. I'm so sorry. That's the last time I lend you anything. Don't worry about it. Oh no!
I think this is in a shop, maybe a supermarket, but not a very big one. It might be one of those small shops that you see on the corner of the street. I can see a man inside the shop. He's middle-aged, maybe around 50, and he's wearing a smart suit and tie. He's putting something into his inside jacket pocket. I think it's a book, and I imagine he's stealing it. I think this crime happens a lot these days. It's very bad because sometimes the owners of small shops don't earn much money.
Laura.
I have a very interesting job. I work with languages, which is great. I use 3 languages that I learned at school in my job, and I really enjoy speaking them every day. I go to international meetings where there are people from many different countries and they have to understand each other. So I, and people like me, translate for them. It's sometimes quite difficult because they speak quickly and they don't slow down for me. And I have to be careful. I can't give an incorrect translation or they might make the wrong decisions.
Rachel.
I work with children aged between 11 and 15.
My languages are French and Russian. I really enjoy my classes, and I hope the children enjoy them too. Sometimes it's hard because the students don't like learning about irregular verbs and things like that. But there's no choice when you're learning a language. In the summer, I often take the classes outside where we have an informal lesson in the garden. I think it's easier to speak a language when you're relaxed. That's when you make the most progress, I think.
Michael.
I studied in Paris for a year, and that's where I first did some work for a film company. I wanted a part-time job which wasn't too boring while I was studying, so I applied for the job of playing the role of an English student in a French film that they were making in Paris. I loved every minute. In fact, I spent more time acting than I did studying. It was an unusual part-time job and much better than working in a restaurant like my friends. They paid me a lot of money too. Now I'm training at a drama school and I hope I'll get more jobs like that in the future.
Good morning. This is the Bradford School of English. How can I help you?
Good morning. I'm calling from Italy. Could you give me some information about your summer courses?
Yes, of course. We have a course which begins on the 13th of July.
Sorry, did you say on the 30th of July?
No, on the 13th.
Ah, I understand. How long does the course last?
20 days.
Do you organize accommodation?
Yes, we do. Students usually live with local families.
Pardon? I'm not sure I understood.
You can stay with a family near the school.
Okay, thank you. How much is the course?
£950.
Could you repeat that?
Yes, I said the price is £950.
Does the price include other activities?
Yes, it does. It includes excursions and social activities.
I'm very interested in the course. Can you send me a registration form?
Yes, of course. Can you give me your name and address?
I'm interested in a new course. Sorry, did you say the 10th of May? Could you say that again? Can I help you? How much is the course? The price is £50 a week. I can see some students in a classroom. There are some boys and some girls. I think they're teenagers. I imagine they're at a special language school because I think they are different nationalities and they're not all the same age. Two of them are talking to each other, not to the teacher. I imagine they're doing this to practice their speaking. They're probably talking about something in their book, like a grammar point, or maybe discussing a question from the book. Talking together helps you speak a language better. You don't worry about making mistakes when you're not saying things in front of the whole class. There are 4 people in the picture, and, they're in a waiting room. It's probably a waiting room in a health centre. I imagine it's the morning or the afternoon, because that's when people usually go to the doctors. 3 of the people are patients. They're waiting to see the doctor. The doctor is also in the room. The patients are looking at him. They look ill or, have health problems. For example, I think the woman on the left has got a broken arm, or maybe it's her wrist. I'm not really sure, but I think the woman in the middle has got a sore neck because she's wearing a collar round it. The room isn't very exciting. There aren't, well, any pictures on the wall. I can also see some magazines. I think they're probably giving information to the patients. I've been in a waiting room like this when I've been ill. I don't like waiting rooms because they always seem sad and grey. The thing is, the picture makes me think about times when I've been ill, so I don't really like it much.
There are 4 people in the photograph. They are in the countryside, near the mountains. One of the people isn't very well. I imagine he has fallen over, or perhaps he's got a virus. 2 people are carrying him. They are probably going to hospital. In the background, there's a car with red lights. I think it's a police car or a small ambulance. I think the man who is injured is feeling quite bad. Perhaps his leg hurts.